Hey everyone, this is Frankie with RE/MAX North San Antonio, and Let's Be Frank, where we get frank about real estate marketing. And today, let me back this up here, we are going to talk about dealing with disruptors, all the iBuyer programs. I did this class the other day here at the office. I told you all I would go live, but my camera had to do some firmware updates, so I'm going to do it right now and record the class in hopefully a little shortened fashion, just to go over some facts that I want to get across for you when you're going out talking to sellers, talking to buyers, some things to consider if they're thinking about working with some of these disruptors or the iBuyers, as we call them. So this would be like Opendoor, Perch here in San Antonio. Those two are the ones we see. There's also in other areas, Zillow, instant offers. There's a Redfin program that does sort of the same thing. And so I want to teach you some things that you should be doing when working with your clients to really inform them that even though this might seem like the quick and easy solution, it's not going to necessarily save them any money. And so if that's their biggest concern, why are they going with them when they could have a personal agent, someone who's really going to be attentive and take care of them, that being you? So we're going to do this a little informally, but who are these? As I mentioned before, Opendoor, Perch, there's one called OfferPad that's here in San Antonio and a few other places. Zillow Instant Offers, Redfin are just a few of these. And how do they work? On the seller side, what happens is that a homeowner submits their address on their website. I can show you over here on Opendoor. There's a place for them to get their offer. They submit their address. They do answer a few questions, such as what's the condition of your home? What kind of flooring do you have in each room? Do you have any foundation issues? How's your landscaping? Have you made any renovations or additions? And so it goes through that process. And then really, I think it's within 24 hours, sometimes less, they send you an offer on your home. And so here, this is how Opendoor says they work. Then they send you information. The person can then review the offer and accept it. There's some fees involved. Sometimes some of the programs, such as OfferPad, I put my information in. They asked me to send photos of my home. So that's another way that they make offers. They also will schedule their free in-home assessment, and then if repairs are needed, they'll negotiate those into the offer. If they're not already in there, most likely they're not. And then with Opendoor, the seller would sell the home, and then at some point Opendoor would do the repairs, not necessarily before the seller sells the home. They'd get the money from the seller to do them at some point. Whereas some of these, such as Perch, they differ a little bit in that they may do the repairs, but really, let me just show you about their selling situation. The big thing with them is they might try to go and put it on the market at first and sell it. And if they don't sell it within 90 days, then they will buy the home for the original offer price. And so that's a little bit different as well. If they do put it on the market and they sell it for something more, then they end up, giving you the difference. So those are just two of the ways that those programs work. And here's the big thing. Is in their offer, sometimes in addition to that offer, the fees involved can be anywhere. They give you some examples, which I'm going to show you, but the fees really vary. And I'm not just taking this from their website. I'm taking this from reviews by homeowners that have used these programs. These fees end up varying between 6 and 12%. So that's a big variation. And these are, call them service fees. Okay, so their big pitch to consumers is they're not paying commissions. They're not having to pay commissions to an agent, so that's how the consumer saves money. Instead, they're just paying them a service fee. Kind of the same thing, yes, but that's what you have to educate your homeowner on. So we'll go down here. I'm just going through my slides from my class the other day. I went through a little bit. Offer pad also includes a local move, so they add that into the savings. And then I do have, I'm not going to go through all of these, but one thing I want to encourage you to do is to go to Google and search for Opendoor, Yelp, and you can read a ton of Yelp reviews. There's not an Opendoor. I haven't found the San Antonio section of Opendoor on Yelp yet, but they do have a ton of reviews in Phoenix and Las Vegas. And then the Better Business Bureau, they have one page, which I'll click on right now, that is for their main base, which is in California. And if you look, there are a ton of issues. People basically say, they were told, they were offered one thing, then they basically lost money if they had gone with an agent. Some of these are also buyer complaints saying that they agreed to buy the home. Opendoor said they would do the repairs, and they still haven't gotten around to doing the repairs. So that's key when you're talking to your buyers to know those type of things. So I'm not going to read through all these, but basically they do say when Opendoor or Perch, when they offer you a price on their home, it is much less than a real estate agent would recommend selling it for. So actually, I will go back to this one right here. Basically, it says they gave this second one, they gave us a completely uneducated offer. They don't take the major 4 points into consideration: roof, plumbing, electrical, HVAC. We paid $228. Essentially, they offered them $225 in addition to a 7% in fees and paying all the closing costs. So they would only net $205. So anyway, that wasn't a great option for them. Someone else said, you know what, for them it was a good option because they needed to sell their homes very fast. So that's the one key thing that they have going for them. If someone needs to dump off a property quickly and they're not worried about the profit, it might work for them. This top review basically says, hey, I sold a few of my rental properties and I lost about $7,000 each, but the time crunch was worth it. So how much time do you value 7%, $7,000? And I think that's what you have to tell your sellers. If you as an agent can sell that home for $20,000 more than what Opendoor can sell it for, how much is that $20,000 worth? Is it worth an extra month? Is it worth 2 months? And maybe because of the price range of the home, you'll sell it just as fast as Opendoor, the buying process of Opendoor anyway. You're not sure. They can't guarantee that it's going to be quicker. And actually, let's go here to the buyer side. Okay, so the buyer side, essentially what happens is they do go and purchase the home from Opendoor, and that's great. But what Opendoor has done, or Perch, or some of these other companies, if they own the home, they might have done some minor renovations. One of the reviews, we said they just painted. That's really all they did. But they haven't necessarily done all the renovations. So if you are working with a buyer, make sure you warn these buyers, get your own inspector. If they offer to pay for the inspector, get your own, or a service person comes and does an overview of it. They don't necessarily call it inspector, but you want to get your own so that if there's anything that they are not reporting in the home. I saw a review about a plumbing issue. So just some things to watch out for. The paperwork is often very shaky that we've seen in these reviews. People are having a hard time with the closings because it is just a notary, or their title company is based in another location. So they're having a hard time scheduling the closing. And one other thing to note on both the buyer and seller side, Opendoor has in their contract that they can pull out any time. Even if they're the ones that have earnest money on the table, in their contract, they say they can pull their earnest money back. So, if your clients are really, they really need to sell this home, if Opendoor for some reason has some little thing that says, hey, we don't want to buy this home, we're going to pull out, That's it. There's nothing your buyers or sellers really can do according to that contract that Opendoor has created. So that's another thing to watch out for when you're dealing with them. So what I wanted to show you, and I'll show you a Perch example, but let's actually go onto Purchase site. But all the websites I went on to, Perch, Opendoor, OfferPad, they all had examples of the different fees that you'd be paying, which is fine. However, the one thing that stood out was the example offer price. In every single one of these examples, the Perch offer price was equal to the traditional sale price. And that right there is the biggest red flag, because as a real estate agent, and from all these examples that I'm reading online, agents that have already dealt with them, even I've put in my home. In my home, I was offered about 20% less than what I am fairly certain my home would sell for, or $20,000 less than what I'm fairly certain my home would sell for. So what does that mean? That means all these examples are flawed from the get-go, because if they're saying Perch would offer you $250, well, then maybe the real estate agent could sell it for $275, $270. So right there, that's an additional amount of money that your seller would be getting. Next, all of them give some sort of average days to closing. Maybe it will take another month or two, Mr. Seller, if you go with me as the agent, but that's not for certain, especially because a lot of the homes that Opendoor and Perch are going after are those homes between $150,000 and $250,000, which we know right now, because we're in the real estate industry, that those homes are selling fast anyway. So it might only take 60 days from the time you list the home to closing. I mean, we are averaging very fast. I could look up the stats right now, but I think some of these areas, the average time from when you put the home on the market to when it closes is something like 60 days, depending on the price point. So that's not really accurate to say that they're going to be so much quicker. Average days to prep home, sure. You might have to prep your home to sell it, Mr. Seller. That's part of that. Yes, there will be showings. However, when Perch or Opendoor go in to look at a home, they're about making money off of it. And so when you go to the point where you have to negotiate renovations or repairs, Perch and Opendoor are just saying, all right, I need to make money off of it. You need to do this, this, and this. And there's not as much negotiating on what they can actually do. Whereas if a buyer comes into your home and sees that home and falls in love with it, and they send you their what they want to be fixed, and they say, well, I really want the fence repaired, and I like this room painted, and I need the windows replaced, and you say, nope, not replacing the windows, but I'll do the fence. That buyer might have already fallen in love with your home enough that they say, okay, seller, I'm going to go with it. So you could save on the repair side, depending on how good your agent is. Our agents are great, by going with us, with a real estate agent. So let your clients know that they could save on the repair side, because you are the negotiator as the agent. You are the one helping them negotiate that. So then we go down to the Perch fee, or some of them call it the service fee, right? So here they say Perch fee is 8.5%. I want to show you this too, actually, on Opendoor's website. Pricing, here we go. On Opendoor's website, they have the average fee is 7.7%. And I have seen reviews that said it was between 6 and 12% with Opendoor. So very interesting there. However, you see the traditional home sale. So our fees here in San Antonio in Texas, the traditional fee is 6% here. 3% seller, 3% buyer. So right there, that's a 2.5% difference. If for the real estate agent fees between the real estate agent fees and the Perch fee, 2.5%. So if you sell the home for more and you take less commission for your fees, your seller's going to be on top. And then they do add some of these other little things in. They say 1.5% for seller concessions. Well, that could be true, but I mean, the homes that Perch and Opendoor are really going after are these homes between 150 and 250. And because of the market right now, often a seller does not have to concede to giving any of those fees because it's a hot market. And so, buyers are coming and saying they're going to pay for closing costs. They're going to the seller isn't going to have to concede as much. Housing overlap costs. I think that's really interesting because I don't think it matters if you move as a seller at 60 with the house selling in 60 days or 90 days. There's always going to be a period of time where you're going to have to, you're going to have to be paying a mortgage or rent or whatever it is, right? So the housing overlap cost doesn't make sense to me. What does that mean, Perch? That they sold their home and then they didn't have to go live in a new one and pay for a new home? Probably not. Most likely they sold their home and they're already buying another one, which they will have to pay for. So really that part didn't make sense to me. And then repairs to the property, they put to be determined. Hopefully your agent can negotiate that a little bit. And then it says the total fees. And Perch puts it as you're only saving about a little bit. But that, again, you're only saving what? $1,000 by going with Perch. And that's when they sold the home at the very same price, right? So I think if you sit down with your clients that are considering Opendoor, that are considering Perch, and you go to their website and you click on this pricing area and you point out the issues with this, if prices is, and we know that the majority of sellers, that's what's going to get them, is that price part of it, right? And you show that these offer prices, that they are lower. And you can even sit there with Opendoor and fill out the form and see what they offer the house and then compare it to your CMA. I am very certain that you're gonna have a higher priced listing price than what Opendoor is offering. And you can show them. Here we see a $2,600 difference, and again, 7.7% on Opendoor, and they add in these other extra costs. So if you can sell that home for an extra $20,000, they're making out on top. The one area that they are going to, that if the pain point is time, you might have to go through that with your seller. But if you emphasize, hey, if I can get you $20,000 more for your home, can you live in your home for another month? I mean, is it worth paying another $1,500 mortgage if I can get you another $20,000 on your home? I think so. So that's the biggest things I want to touch upon. Let me just go through these last parts. Remind your client if they are thinking there are some services with Perch and Opendoor and some of these other programs where they can work with one of their buyer's agents. Remind your clients that if they're considering to work with them as a buyer, they don't have to pay for you as an agent on the buyer side. That is that's your service that you're offering to them, and you're going to be more on their side in real life. You're not doing this behind a computer screen. You are walking them through. The market. You are the professional. You have been doing this for a while now. You're not just some pop-up iBuyer program and out of another state. You're here in this state helping your clients find the right home. Be cautious with the repairs and the requests. Guide them through the paperwork. It might be a good deal if you can get through some of those hurdles. So I think we covered that. Oh, and how do you talk to your sellers? So it can be quick if it's priced right, yes, but putting it on the market might be just as fast as you putting it on the market. Do a net sheet with your client. Show what they could be making if they sell the home at the level you think they should list it at. These offers they're making are low balls, and they can get more in this market. We here in San Antonio, at least, this is a great market, and so they can get better than what Opendoor is asking them for. Show how marketing helps. If you are an agent, I hope you're using professional photography. And so show, like, that's something you'll do, that even though they might not see their home as beautiful, there's someone out there that home is going to be perfect for. And when they see those professional photos, they're just going to say, wow, I want to buy that home. The title company can be an issue. You are their professional. And so I just want to close really quick with, can I get to this? To remember, there we go. You need to offer value to your clients. So obviously the biggest thing is, as a seller, you can help them get more money for them home. But what else? What do you do that makes them different? Are they going to be able to navigate that contract as best as you can with all your years of experience, or with a broker? If you're a newer agent, with a broker that has years of experience on your side, keep on building relationships with your clients. And right now, what can you do? You can start letting them know. They might not be thinking about selling their home right now, but start informing your clients, past, present, possible clients, what is going on in the market. Let them know how these programs are making their money, and that even though these programs are saying, hey, you are giving all your money away to a real estate agent, remind them you are their neighbor, you're their friend, maybe you're their relative, you are their trusted real estate companion. You are not just some making a ton of money real estate agent. There's someone you can trust. So would they rather work with you as a real estate agent, or some big company out of California that just wants to flip your home and make a profit? Okay, so that's a wrap. I did that in less than 22 minutes. So thank you, everyone. Let me know what you think in the comments. And I'm sure we're going to be talking about this again soon. Take care of everyone, and happy selling.